protected, according to by the taxpayer dollar. You're going to have the fall of the empire that way. That's guaranteed. My personal opinion. Let's talk of another topic now. Hopefully, either my videographer or my absolute genius son to my right will join the conversation and ask me some questions. Any questions? Come, genius son. You have to get a lot closer into the camera, unless you don't want to be in the camera. Actually, you know something? We won't have him in the camera, okay? So, give me a topic, or you give me a topic to talk about. You could talk about anything: patents, potential litigation, IP, CBDCs.
I want to talk about CBDCs.
You want to talk about CBDCs?
Where do you think that's headed?
You ask me very specific questions. And can you be heard on the camera?
I'm pretty sure I can be heard.
Okay.
Do you think we're closer to a centralized digital banking currency?
You know, it's interesting because that's not what CBDC stands for.
Not central. Okay.
No, you got it right, but you got it right by mistake. He said centralized digital banking currency.
Centralized banking digital currency.
No, central bank digital currency is what CBD stands for.
Uh-huh.
What it is exactly what you said. Centralized digital banking currency. It's basically taking in currencies and centralizing it, because electronically, they technically can have full control over almost anything that has to do with the currency. I like that. That Freudian slip is genius. You see that? So, now, as to whether we're getting closer to it or not, we already have it. Many countries have, or several countries have already started issuing the currencies. Hasn't been working that well for them, but then again, this is a big paradigm shift in the way things are done. It does take time. You had the e-Naira, which was issued in Nigeria. Here's a fun fact. I went to Nigeria in 2018 and introduced a digital currency, VE Gold, which is denominated back and based in gold, which is available in Nigeria and its neighboring country, Ghana. Ghana is currently the largest producer of gold in the African continent. If I'm not mistaken, is the largest producer of gold in the world. Put that in perspective. That means that something that they have in abundance, they get right from under the ground, can back their currency. And that currency, when back from what they have in abundance under the ground, makes it stronger and harder than the US dollar, the euro, and the yen, even a Swiss franc. So, doing it my way, Nigeria could have had the strongest currency in the world and wouldn't have costed them any additional money. But they went with some other vendor, not to disparage that vendor, and if you Google fights in Nigerian bank, you can see what the people think about the new e-Naira. Okay? They are now going through, and I think they have retained R3 to advise on reconstituting the e-Naira. I'll not comment on that further. But I do believe a lot of the technology that is being exported out of the U.S. has been patented by a tall, loquacious, extremely handsome, and intellectual man. Not that young anymore, but age is like fine wine. I don't know who he is, but if I come up with a name, I'll let you know. Okay, so that's the e-Naira. There's the e-Yuan out of China. There's the sand dollar out of the Bahamas. I think the Jamaican currency is called I can't remember. Oh, the jam dollar, I think, or something like that. Fun fact, in 2017, I went to Jamaica, and I believe I was the first one to introduce distributed technology and the digital currencies, national sovereign digital currency, to Jamaica as well. I believe that they did not like the way a certain government agency in the U.S. talked about me, and they all decided to not do business with me, unfortunately. But as it turns out, I was an early pioneer, and I believe I was correct. So that's in a nutshell. There are many other digital currencies coming out. FedNow is launched Monday, I think, which is a real-time payment system, or quasi-real-time payment system, to basically bring SWIFT up to quasi-modern technology, and that's a precursor to the U.S. CBDC. The European Central Bank is working on the same. So it's the Bank of England, and the Bank of Japan, the most powerful central banks in the world. So it's definitely coming. It's here, and it's not going anywhere. Interesting. So imagine if someone could patent that. Wouldn't that be cool? It's like having a patent on e-commerce in 1997. Pre-Facebook, Google, Netflix, pre-Amazon. Cool stuff. Ask me questions. Let's build. I'm going to make noise, background noise. Ask me questions. Anything, by the way.
What do you see happening to physical cash, the development of CBDCs?
It's probably going to become unpopular, and anybody who doesn't want physical cash, give it to me, I'll take it. Okay? I'm all for it. Physical cash is OG privacy coin. It is the original privacy coin. It works. Okay? Physical cash is being phased out and has been phased out. There are many places in New York City, particularly Manhattan, that won't take physical cash right now. And there are many places who believe in physical cash almost only. Not many, but there are a few. You're going to phase out physical cash, and that gives you more control over the currency circulation and the retail level money system, transaction of currency. That comes with a lot of strings attached, you can imagine. You imagine if you take physical cash and you put a couple of algorithms to track it and control it, and you reference it with cell phones. I can literally control what you do. I know where your location is at any given time with your Apple Watch or your iPhone. I can tell you what your frame of mind is, your state of being, when you made a certain purchase. Because you could get a heart rate from a smartwatch. You get a location from the smartwatch and a phone using Wi-Fi triangulation, potentially Bluetooth, the cell phone tower triangulation, GPS, cost and specific. So if you went and did a drug deal, okay, with a CBDC, a centralized bank digital currency, a centralized digital currency, I like that, by the way. You can actually, reveal so much information. Imagine if someone said, I didn't want you buying marijuana, even though it's legal. Or you live in New York, where it's a liberal or moderate town, and you decide to go to a Trump rally. And they say, I don't want people with a FICO score under 650 going to a MAGA or hard right Republican or conservative rally. I don't think I'm going to cut off your access to that CBDC, but only until you come back towards the center or go left, since you're a New Yorker. And that's just the very beginning. You go steal something, you run away, you go to court, I didn't do it. Well, I see there was a transfer here. I see your heart rate spiked up. And then it calmed down as you got X, meters away from the action. There's so much that can be done. The last thing that you need, people give away. A lot of people voluntarily give this stuff away. Instagram, I'm a technology head, and I've always been tech savvy or tech curious. But what people put in Instagram voluntarily and TikTok amazes me. So the CIA and the FBI, this is a godsend to them. People are like, well, they're going to shut down Bitcoin. Why would the FBI ever shut down Bitcoin? You know how much it would cost for them to build something like that from scratch, come up with an idea and to get everybody to use it, right? How could the FBI get a thief to go and do a crime and then take the proceeds of that crime and put it into a system that would track the FBI right to you? Very difficult for them to do that. Old school privacy coins like the US dollars, the actual physical paper is one thing, but they're using Bitcoin. And like I said, it's not that Bitcoin is bad, but it's not made for theft. And if you're a smart thief, you don't leave a paper trail to the crime. Or at least if you're a smart thief that wants to stay free. So, interesting, dystopian, apocalyptic, or pro-governmental future, depending on which side of the fence you're looking at. Ask me questions, talk to me, get me going. That's why I wish I had people here to just talk and vibe with. And I want to get in an argument and a fight with somebody, by the way, because I like that's more fun. I have a colorful shirt on. What's the shirt say?
HBCU made.
Yes, and at the top, I bought this at Howard University, my alma mater. It says unapologetically unadulterated HBCU made. So for those who don't know what an HBCU is, what is it?
Historically black colleges and universities.
There you go, historically black college university. I've had a real rough few weeks. A friend